So traders, we're probably a bit overextended when it comes to the stock market. So we could get a little bit of a push from here, but if we do, it's probably going to be very short-lived. And also, we're probably going to get a bit of a pullback out of the actual stock market itself, and also the mining sector as well too. We're still really, we're still in a very big, strong downtrend through there. So I want to walk you through all that. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into the markets today. And I want to share something with you here. So by looking at the actual stock market itself, and by looking at the markets itself, we can actually see, firstly, looking at the Nasdaq, notice one thing here, okay? We've had a very big move to the upside. Now, if we break this down into two different components here, one, it'll be how the markets work, right? And how does the market work? If we go to and we have a look at, how the markets work, right? We go through swings, right? We swing up, we swing down, we swing up, we swing down. See how we go through swings, right? But notice what's happening through here. Notice how we've actually had this move up, 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 and up through here. So just by the nature of the beast itself, which is the market, what's likely to come? We're likely to get a swing, right? A swing, what's also known as a pullback in the markets here. So right now we've actually gone through this phase through here. So if we do get something like this next week, like when we get a push to the upside, that's probably going to be the end of this swing, right? And then we get a swing down, and then we get a swing back up, because we haven't actually created a higher low yet. Remember, we need a higher low for an upward trend to start. A move up, that's not an upward trend. An upward trend is what? It starts to do this here, right? Because that's when you start to get that sort of action from there. So by looking at the markets right now, by looking at the Nasdaq right now, we can see that we have this overall level of resistance up here. So we may be getting ready for one more little push to the upside before we actually start to see that swing in the markets from there. So that's the first thing I do say, is that we just the nature of the beast, and looking at probabilities through here, is that we can see that the overall markets from here is we're actually due for what? We're due for some form of a pullback. So market is overextended, overbought, and we're due for a bit of a snapback, a bit of a pullback. We actually want to see that, right? Because if we do get that, then we're likely to see a really big move coming out of that, right? And this is the exact same thing I talked about with gold. If I go back to the gold chart, if you guys have watched me for the last couple of months, you would know that this is the exact same technique that I used to say that we're likely to get a pullback in the markets, right? And so when gold was coming up through here, look at this here, we had a little pullback, we had one last little push, and then we had what? Then we had the big pullback, and now we're going through this here. By the way, guys, I'll get to gold in a minute, but I think gold has a bit more sideways period to happen first before we have that big breakout. But I'll get to that in just a minute. So let's go back to the Nasdaq here. So as you can see, the Nasdaq it's all just the patterns, right? Just pattern recognition, right? So we have a move up, sideways. If we do get a big move up, see how that's pretty much the exact same thing that gold did, right? And then guess what? And then we get a good pullback through there. Now, when I'm saying pullback, guys, it's just a pullback is not a crash or a downtrend or, sellers in control. The big thing here, right, is we're just looking for that. Now, the next technique I want to teach you is about having the market too far away from the moving average. So two major trading techniques that says we're overbought right now, and we're likely to get a bit of a snapback. And the other technique is, if I squeeze my charts right up here and I take everything up the screen, notice how we only get certain distance away from the moving average before what? We get a snapback. It just happens all the time. You look at any position you're in right now, or any stock or any market out there, and the market doesn't get too far away from the moving average before we start to get pullback on the upside, which is overbought, right? Overbought, 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 overbought. So this is two major chart reading and trading techniques you can use in your trading to know when we're starting to become overbought and oversold, right? And look at this here. So even on the downside, we get too far away, we start to get a bit of a pullback. Too far away, get a bit of a pullback. Too far away, too far away. Even on the upside, right? Upside is like where we are right now. We get too far away, we get a pullback. Now, we can never pick the exact top, right? But what a lot of traders do, they try to start to go long up here. And yeah, they may get a little bit of extra move, but then it drops on and they're like, I don't understand why this actually did not follow through, right? And then that's what we see through there, right? And this is in that free trading course, guys, in the link, the first link in the description there. I talk a lot about this in the chart reading section and also the advanced chart reading section in that trading course, that first link in the description there. You can go get it for free. But the thing is, we can see through here, is we can see that that's where we are right now, right? We can see that we tend to get too far away from the moving average. So when we get too far away from the moving average, we like to get a snapback, right? And the thing is that so therefore we may get one last little push, but again, look how far we are away from the moving average. So probability says two things now say that one, how markets work is what we go for swings, or we have a bit of pullback, swings, bit of a pullback, swings, bit of a pullback, right? Now, this period through here is not normal market conditions, right? What is that? That's 2020. That's the 2020 slingshot move, right? That's not normal market conditions. What is normal market conditions? High, low, up, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. Yeah. See how the market, and then the market starts to what? Swing, right? Swings up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then we get something like that. So if we do get something like this, we could be getting ready for a really strong 2024. 2024 could be an incredible year, right? Because this actually could just be a bit of a mock charge right now before we come down, create a high low, and away we go from there. So that's what I'm looking at there when it comes to the good old Nasdaq chart from there. Let's go look at the Dow Jones as well too. And the Dow Jones is pretty much just flat. There is really not much going on with the Dow Jones. And as you can see here, right, when I squeeze my charts up, you can just see that just really that whole area of resistance there. So again, we may get one last little push to the upside. The Dow Jones is actually not too far away from the moving average, but again, look at the moving. The Dow Jones is just pretty much just flat through there. Looking at the S&P 500, and once again, traders, if I zoom in my charts here, using the same techniques that I just shared with you on the Nasdaq, we possibly could be getting ready for one more push to the upside from here, right? One more push to the upside before we see a bit of a pullback, a bit of a drop in the markets, which is probably going to freak a lot of people out, right? They're going, oh my goodness, the market's dropping. That did it all over. It's like it's how markets work, right? And if we can just understand the nature of the beast, then we can start to get in and get out and understand where are we right now and what's really happening and what's really going on with these markets, right? And that's actually what we want to start to see. And if you look at the fear and greed index, which is right here, you notice that we're actually starting to get into the greed, right? And this is how what? It swings in the short term analysis, isn't it? Look at this here. Fear. We had the extreme fear there for a while. Now we're running back up. When we get into the extreme greed, which we're almost there now, we start to get what? We start to get a drop in the markets, too much greed, so on and so forth. So when we get this push to the upside, right? When we get this push, or if we do get a push to the upside, that's probably going to send a lot of people into the oh my goodness, here we go, the market's getting ready to take off, right? But we're probably not, we're not ready yet, right? We really need a good higher low in the markets, right? So even before this market started to go up, what did we start to get? We started to get what? Low, higher low, and higher low, right? So we started to get these higher lows before we started to have this really big move to the upside. Same for the Nasdaq as well too. So this is where traders, rule number one is the trend, right? What is the trend? And as you can see, even with the Nasdaq, what happened with the Nasdaq? We had a bit of a double bottom, then we had a higher high, higher low, and then guess what? Then we start to have a really good move to the upside. It's very, very, very difficult to call bottom here because you don't know when that is. But when we start to get this sort of action, we just simply go along with what the market is telling us. Make sense? So let's go have a look at the GDXJ from here, and we can see what's going on from that perspective there. The big thing about the GDXJ is you can see the moving average is flat, but what's happening here with the GDX or the GDX, right? The gold mining stocks is doing what? The gold mining stocks is low, lower, high. See how we're making these lows through here? We're not making higher lows yet, but we haven't broken these highs here. In a downward trend, what can happen sometimes is we have this move down, down, and it may come up and actually hit the resistance, and it may hit the resistance, but we haven't broken it, right? We need to see a breaking of these highs, or breaking of at least one high for things to start to change, right? So if we go look at the Nasdaq as an example, you'll notice what? Notice how we had the high through here. We had this high through here. Then we actually broke the high, right? This high here was broken. So the sells are no longer in control. We're no longer in a downward trend. And then guess what? Then we get the pullback, and then we start the upward trend. So we're looking at that from the mining perspective. We're actually still in a downward trend. We're just holding strong here going sideways, but we're still in a downward trend. This thing could roll over again and still have another big move to the downside. Moving over now through to the GDXJ, and we're getting the same situation here, right? We're getting this high here, lower high, and see how we're getting all these same highs through here. We have this once, twice, 3 times. If you think about this from a big picture perspective, traders, big picture perspective, if we think about it, or from a psychological perspective, right? Let's get psychological perspective. What do we have here, right? Firstly, what do we have? We have resistance here, then it try to go again, then it try to go again, then it try to go again. 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 times so far. So what happens if we get something like this? The market says, okay, I give up, and then the market does that. We're probably getting ready for something like that if that happens, right? Because the market is struggling to what? To go up from here. Let's go look at the SILJ. We are getting a bit of a breakout level through here. Let's take you off the screen there. But again, look at this here. What are we getting? That's that resistance or support level through there. Resistance, that's that last high, isn't it? So we have this high, lower high, lower high. We need a breaking of this $9, right, for it to start to really change the tune here. If not, and we hold, guess what? We're still in this downward trend right here. This actually could just be a lower high before we actually continue what? Going down again. And this is what the market does. It really sort of tricks you into that level there. Moving out through to the silver mining, the SIL. And again, we're right at this level here, aren't we? Right at that level there. Same high, same high, same high, same high. Right? Same, but not really much going on there. When it comes to the SIL as well too. Maybe going now through to the silver market, and silver market did actually break the high, and we did create this high low now. So silver could be this could be setting up now for a nice move, because we did break the high. We definitely broke out of this high. So as long as it stays above this level here, if we can hold this level here, right, we can hold all this level here. And these arrows here, guys, are just to show the highs there. I've just put in there just to show the highs and the lows. So this one here, once, twice, 3 times, and came down, formed the high low, then it came back up. And we're squeezing up into this overall downward movement. So this actually could be getting ready for a squeeze, and it could be getting ready for a squeeze and a break to the upside when it comes to the silver market from there. And looking at gold right now, even though it has created that higher high, and now we're creating that higher low, gold is probably likely to continue going sideways for a bit, I would say. We do have this overall, that's that overall high point from there. But just by looking at this moving average here, you can see that the moving average is sort of just slowly going up from here. We're just sort of, we're not really trending, like, see how that's much stronger, right? That's strong trend. This is not really strong yet. So what's probably likely to happen is we're probably likely to go just sideways for a bit, and then maybe start to get the moving average catching up and start to get strong, and then we start to see a breakout. And when it does do that, then we're likely to see a really big move to the upside. So there we go, traders. There's a bit of an update for you across the board and across the markets from there. A really big thing here, traders, is just to continue to always go what the market's telling us. And that's a big thing that can really help you out. If you do need some help, traders, then that second link in the description, you can go apply for my private coaching program. This is where you learn my strategy, get access to my scanner, and I'm there every single day for all of next year. Every day, the market's open for an hour, helping you, coach you, and teach you, and also showing you what I'm doing as well too.